Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is actually my first whiskey review. I'm going to first talk a little bit about whiskey. I'm going to get my first impressions on this, and then I'm going to get my second impressions on this after some research. So skip around if you like. So we're going to first talk about this. This is my first exploration into whiskey. I guess the first bottle of whiskey I've bought in a while. It's a really fun kind of feeling walking into a liquor store, because it's that feeling that you get when you walk into a craft beer store for the first time, looking around, trying to see what you get. But the reason I got this one, Buffalo Trace, is because it was highly recommended for both cocktails and also drinking by itself. It's pretty decently priced at $34 that I paid. I think it's actually decently cheaper for other people. But this has about 38 drinks in it. So at $34, that's actually a really good price. You're lucky if you're paying $2 per drink, right? Six pack, $12, and then forget about it if you get into bombers or 16-ounce 4-pack. So thinking about it, if I paid $80 for a bottle of whiskey, $120 a bottle of whiskey, it actually wouldn't be that bad. So it just goes to sort of show you that beer is actually quite expensive. But yes, famous distillery. They make a lot of the American whiskeys out there. Blanton, Sazerac, Stag, Taylor. It just goes on and on. But this is their Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 45%. Let's dig into it. So probably should do a video sometime talking more about just whiskey and all these other things, and bourbon, and what is bourbon and all that stuff. But we're just going to get first impressions of this. Can't remember. It's actually been a few months since I've actually had this once, and then since then I haven't really thought too much about whiskey. But really, this is just honestly just a beer drinker first impression of bourbon. So let's dig into this. So that's one thing that as a beer drinker, on the palate and the nose, like the explosion of alcohol is just very different. But yeah, I'm getting some spice, maybe some like cooked apples. Oh, what is that underlying? And the other hard thing is that when you are familiar with beer, the vocabulary is there. I'm just picking at straws of what I'm familiar with and what I'm picking up. But yeah, obviously the heat gets in there. But yeah, wow, there's this like baked apple pie kind of quality to it. Some cinnamon, some sweetness. And then there's some oak and wood in the background. Cheers. So, on the palate, it's actually pretty smooth. It doesn't really get too aggressive on there. There is this kind of oh wow, what is that? A perfumey floral element dancing around there, along with some spice. Yeah, there's a little bit of that kind of caramelly sweetness. It's actually not that sweet. There's a little of that candied sweetness in the middle. More of that fruitiness. I want to say maybe even some citrus peel maybe, but it's spice. Some vanilla dancing around, definitely for sure. Maybe a little bit of that oak driving through, but yeah, it's actually not that big on the palate. The alcohol really dries it out. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice. So I'm going to be back. I'm going to do a little bit of research. This is how I got into beer. So you sort of get first impressions of this. Then you're trying to do as much research as possible. So I'm going to go online, watch some reviews, see what the brewery, the distillery offers as tasting notes, and just try to find some tasting notes and get a general idea of what a lot of people say about the product. And not that I have to definitely agree with it all, but I'm going to sort of just gather it all and then dig back into this and then tell you guys what I think. So let's dig back into it. We'll be back until next time. Cheers.